Hey guys, welcome back to Kharak 12, and welcome back to the lower bracket. Sorry to throw off the groove by casting a bit of quarterfinals there from the upper bracket, but hey, things had to be done. But this final now has been played between Fear and God Hates Weebs. Faction picks are Coalition and Soban this time for a best of 5 finals series. I'm going to be pretty excited for this one. I've heard I should be getting some kind of a conniption by it, so I'm excited to see what that means. And this time my microphone is actually on. You see, I cast the semifinals too, but discovered to my horror I had not turned on my microphone, so gonna have to recast those. A little bit unfortunate. This is from the upper bracket, of course. But, you know, we'll do. We'll make do. It'll be okay. Best of 5 series between Fear and God Hates Weebs. Who do I expect to win this? I'm really not sure, you know that? I'm really not sure. Could be God Hates Weebs. But I don't know. I mean, Fear, having won Balcora Cup, you know he's got these fundamentals of RTS down really nicely. But God Hates Weebs has got this interesting style with the air units, and I feel like as someone who's not top tier himself, namely Fear, it might be difficult for him to hold it off, you know? I'm really interested to see how this one plays out. I really don't know who to expect to win this, and fortunately it's not been spoiled for me, so that's good. I mean, it was just played today. Didn't possibly have a chance to spoil it. I did see the number of maps that are in it. I'll have to apologize for that, but I'll try not to let you guys know. I've got a document here, which is going to outline our pick and bans. The bans, God Hates Weebs bans Torin Crater, Fear bans the Dune Sea. I think those are pretty sensible bans. And then the picks, they just gave the order. God Hates Weebs picks, then Fear, then God, then Fear, then God. So we'll just have to, know that that's the order of the picking. And so we'll see with every map. We'll know which pick it is, but we don't necessarily know what the picks are until we see those maps get played, because they weren't like outlined here in this document. But that's okay. So this one here is going to be God Hates Weebs pick, and it looks like Fear going to get a little bit militant here with the artifacts. Going to do his best to pick up the middle one there. God Hates Weebs is going to move out. He will take that second to the middle one, or sorry, he will take the close one for him. So Fear going to get some nice positioning there, but no, he's actually going to go for the close one. Now in this scenario, I think actually you go for the far artifact from you, because then your opponent has a much harder time. Well, that maybe doesn't make sense, but getting the middle one is probably good. Truthfully though, like on a map like this, on Kartoba, they're all so close together, it almost doesn't matter. So you probably shouldn't worry too much about it. Turret post getting set up here. That would do nicely, except we have targeting jammers, of course. Ooh, LAV there, narrowly getting saved, but that is going to kill off that turret. There's nothing for it here. God Hates Weebs needs to learn the hold command, but you press H, yeah, and the guy will stand still. Excellent. With the proper leverage. Let's see. I haven't really been paying attention to strategy here, but it's support cruiser first from Fear. Very respectable. AV fabrication follow up. Probably gonna get that carry production upgrade immediately. That's what I'd love to see. No, goes fighter and gunship, but that actually is also a good choice, especially given the map. Carry production upgrade probably going to come after that. God here going to be getting fighter and gunship fabrication first. Perhaps, yeah, into a support cruiser there. I've mentioned that before. I don't think that's really the best option, but the way he goes tac bomber afterward means maybe this actually makes sense. Because, you know, he won't be able to build the unit at all until the support cruiser's finished. All he needs is LAVs before that. Maybe it works. Maybe it works. But I still wouldn't like to do this without the production upgrade if I were him, personally. Base Runner going to come back home here. I don't think he needs to. I'd rather just see him go out there and extract. He's got the AV to protect. He'll lose an LAV here, perhaps, if he's not careful, but it's not a big deal. And your armored units are definitely going to do enough to keep you held, you know what I'm saying? So I think you're okay here. Carry production upgrade and fighter and gunship. Look at that. Beautiful timing. I like this a lot. Looks like Fear is playing the map pretty nicely. I like it. God Hates Weebs, of course, just doing his thing, but we'll see if it works out for him. Of course, I've got no idea. I really don't. I think this series really is a bit of a toss-up, and so I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see. Although, of course, we can't guarantee perfect play, can we? So I probably am going to pull my hair out at some point. Strike fighters are on the queue. Excellent. That's what you want to see. Fear actually with a pretty significant CU float there. I think maybe if he didn't queue these guys up, he could go for rail fabrication at this point. Support crews are getting a little bit tagged here. You don't want that, because we all know what God Hates Weebs style is going to be. Smoke does come down. So the AV will cover, but not as cleanly as it could have. 3-3-3-3, would you believe that? Well, not anymore, but I wonder how much damage is that bomber gonna do, because the support cruiser I imagine is gonna go down here. Now I've had my wonderings, I don't know how to say this, but that maybe the support cruiser can actually survive if it's moving, because we saw with the moving production cruiser earlier that it was doing a good job of staying alive in the series with Frosty Teeth, yeah? By the way, 6 strike fighters, I like that, because you are really expecting the bombers to come out at this point. Probably wants to go for an auxiliary tech now, though. Like, railgun fabrication would be really good. Maybe even move up to a tier 3 unit if he wants to. But he needs to catch this bomber here, right? Well, they could base trade, but not if he's attacking a logistics module. It really wants to be fighting different units than this. Oh no, gonna be wasting his missiles there a little bit. I'm not a fan, I'm not a fan. Second bomber's out. Support cruiser perhaps gonna go down anyway, but I don't know, he wasted a lot of missiles there. Here comes that bomber. What's it gonna do? Comes into the right positioning, I think. No, actually, you know what? You know what? So what God Hates Weebs should do is figure out the orientation of the support cruiser setup and then come in from behind so that you're leading in and the bomb will kill salvagers on the back end. Support cruiser does go down. Okay, so I take it back. I think Fear's actually looking really fine here. He just needs to know, okay, bombers are out. Clearly he's targeting my support cruisers here. I'm gonna want to, you know, counter that with my strike fighters. He's gonna lose this one, but his opponent lost one as well. He's got the counter to his opponent's poke ability. His opponent does not, so he just continues making support cruisers, and I think he's gonna be okay. He'll be able to kind of beat out his opponent in this fight here. Bomber headed back home. Maybe could even be chased down. But it doesn't look like the attempt is there. God Hates Weebs also making support cruisers, but you can see this one's out first. The second one is going to be out to hold off that other base, and missile batteries coming out. Okay, this is good. This is good from Fear. Now, he may not be expecting bombers to be as good as they are at anti-air, against anti-air units. Bombers are in fact very bad at anti-air, but they're very good at against anti-air units like the missile battery and the support cruiser. He may not be expecting that, but we'll just have to see. Wait a minute. No, he got it too. Okay, sorry. It's God Hates Weebs is also getting missile battery fabrication is the thing here, so. So they both got that, and I imagine God Hates Weebs is going to make some. He knows those strike fighters are out. Support cruiser anti-air about to finish here. That and a missile battery, that'll lock down a base, I'm pretty sure. Probably. But that's the thing, you never really know. Support cruisers bombers are very good at damaging eco, even when there's anti-air ready to fight them, so. We shall see. Base runner picks up another artifact from Fear. Oh, and by the way, wouldn't it be cool if you could drive on the... Yeah. The day will come. I'm fairly convinced. The day will come that we're able to make our own custom maps, and then, you know, then we'll be cooking with peanut oil. I'll put it that way. Fear lurking, ready for that bomber. Ooh. But this is a big map. I mean, there's a lot of room to outmaneuver your opponent. Get that bomber in there. He sees the bomber. Gonna chase it down here. Support cruiser anti-air's on the way, but it's not gonna be finished. Oh, but I think he's gonna let the bomber dock. He will. At that point, I almost think just dump your missiles on the support cruiser and head back. After all, I've talked about this before, but that damage is like semi-permanent, yeah? It's not easy to get it healed up, so... Yeah, I think just dump your damage on the support cruiser and get out. After all, you're not going to have a window to do that for very long. Looks like he's going to dump on the LAVs instead. Good to dump on something if you can. Down he goes. Power 2 coming up from Fear now. Interesting choice. I'd really rather just see railguns, but obviously the idea is to make a bit of a power play with the carrier after this, but I don't know. I don't think you need to... Battlecruiser, okay. Well, you know, maybe he's planning a party bus strategy. That could work. This is pretty nicely done. Again, like I said at the beginning here, you know, I think Fear kind of more experience with RTS in general, perhaps, seeing as he's already won a tournament from the Homeworld Universe already. you know, just having these units here in the back line to delay the third, having his third up a little bit faster, it's all good stuff to see. And if I were him, I would just drive through and attack the support cruiser now, you know? Because your opponent hasn't really gotten an answer to that. If you're fighting the AAV with healing, you would actually lose this fight, I think. Yeah, this is net healing here. But look, you can get so much damage on that support cruiser. That's definitely what you ought to do. It's a weird thing, isn't it, in vanilla? The AAVs just cannot hurt each other. And do you see how long this is going to take? So, like, you know. Strike fighters are out now for God Hates Weebs. If Fear takes a bit more of a defensive position, though, that's not going to be a problem. But I'd actually like to see him make 2 support cruisers here. One to hold the main, one to, the second, one to come with the carrier out toward the battlefield. And I'd definitely like to see him launch the strike fighters once he knows. Right now. You're going to want to start hitting W immediately. Because these are a lot of juicy targets here. You're going to lose a support cruiser, but I think you're going to kill your opponent's entire air force if you just hit W out there. He's not launching, which is really bad. Strike fighter's launching now, but it's too late, I think. Well, okay, 1 bomber already going to go down here, yeah. Strike fighter should cut off this last strike fighter here, but he really wanted to get those bombers, and he could have. I mean, that was definitely his for the taking. Gonna get 1 strike fighter here, though, I think. Yeah, down he goes. This AV here is still being annoying, but he could be a lot more annoying, and this support cruiser could actually be dead already. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, battle cruiser fabrication has begun here, but it's only 1 of them. So, the second one gets queued up, that's nice, but... it'd be really nice if he... Because if he had launched the strike fighters there a little bit earlier, I don't think he'd actually have lost the support cruiser, and that would have been really good. As it stands, though, he's okay. But he could have a support cruiser with this carrier, and that would be doing some really nice anti-air, which is going to be impactful, you know, when you've got the battle cruisers out there. What? One of them had line of sight, but the other one didn't. I guess that makes sense, but still, it feels a little weird. The number of support cruiser kills, though, I've got to say, just unreal. If we look at the units lost tab here, it's telling us a pretty grim picture for God Hates Weebs. I do get the feeling Fear is ahead here because of this battlecruiser pop that's on the way. But God Hates Weebs getting railguns and Fear is not. That could be pretty impactful here. Looks like Fear finally targeting the support cruiser, but it is time for this AV to die. Strike fighters will guarantee that. Power Reserve 3 now on the way for Fear. 1, 3, 6, huh? So he can get like power 3 in the range. I mean, that's 1,400 meters. I think most railgun fights don't take place much further away than that. That's probably going to be enough for him, you know what I mean? To fight rails is what I'm really worried about here, obviously. And he does put it into range there. He gets that idea. One of the very unique things about DOK as an RTS is that we're dealing with huge range discrepancies in the units. That's not something that most RTSs have. God Hates Weebs pushing out with that carrier, sees the battlecruiser, and he's like, oh, this is not the fight that I was expecting. He's going to back away there. These guys got about 1,200 range, I believe. That's going to be like this far. So, but they definitely want to be moving at this point. Bomber is out here. Yeah, definitely going to want to launch those strike fighters. Ooh. Bomber really kind of leading these strike fighters on, though, and they're just going to fly right into enemy territory and get dunked on. That's unfortunate. That'll happen sometimes with the pathing on the air units there. But this carrier does not want to back up. He wants to push because if he stays back, the number of railguns is going to increase, and he won't really be able to hold this. Well, he's got railgun fabrication of his own now. Power Reserve 4 coming out now as well as another artifact. Let's see, I mean, this would be 1, 2. I mean, he could have power 4 now. That's 1,700 meters. That's pretty good. That'd mean taking all the power out of armor, but I think it'd be worth it. And 1 power out of repairs, too, mind you. Uh-oh, Railgun's getting too close here. You see what I mean, yeah? Battlecruisers have a bit surprising range. You really have to utilize the railgun's range if you're gonna fight this kind of a battle. If you're gonna want to smoke now. Maybe not, but I mean, this guy is getting pretty low. I don't know about this. Strike fighters want to have a word with this bomber here. They will actually take him down. This is something weird about bombers' pathing. They don't seem to understand how to dock as fast as they should. But railguns are on the way now for Fear. That's what he really needs. He's got power 4 finished, so I'd definitely put that power into the repairs immediately. Heavy vehicles 3 coming out, but no mag accelerator. That's a little wonky. He's definitely going to want to get that. I'd say first, but this push is a little tenuous. It's gotten bogged down. He wants to keep getting the damage in there, and this is definitely the way to go. Push out onto that side. See what you can do now on your opponent's main, because those rails are out of position. Taking him a bit of time to decide to do that, though. He also needs to continue to extract. You've got some field control here, which is good. But Mag Accelerator is going to want to come out, and I think he needs to make more rails here. The thing with the BC pop is that after you have the BCs out, you need rails usually, and I would just make them. This is fair though. Railgun's getting really close now. BCs are doing their damage. Now there are Saban battlecruisers out too. That's an interesting matchup, Saban battlecruisers versus coalition ones, but it's one I would expect the coalition forces to win. He does need to smoke here though, or else he's about to lose one, I'd say. Smoke, dude! Yeah. It's a real shame to see battlecruisers getting lost that way. Power needs to be out of healing and into weapons right here now. And you're ready to tear these rails something new, but you gotta have power in the weapons for that. But that Saban battlecruiser will go down. I'd send just one of them back into the eco. Yeah, just send this guy right back. Just clear this out, clear that out, clear this out. I mean, eventually you're just gonna win that way. And then get the rest of them coming forward to do the attack. Not going to be the plan though, it looks like, but I definitely would do it. Power 5 on the way for Fear. Gonitz Weebs has invested quite a bit into power reserves, but they're going to do absolutely nothing for him. He's Soban, you know. Not worth anything to have weapons, power in the weapons there. Ooh, this is nice. LAV's coming in for the back. Now again, who would do better? Probably a battle cruiser, right? But that's okay. That's very good to see. Saban battlecruiser is being allowed to get a lot of distance in here, though. Fear. Well, never mind. He is teching into Power 5, but once that finishes, get that carry production upgrade, man. Power 5 is finished, full power in the armor, I like that. Strike Fighter is really going to work on these battle cruisers here. As are the Coalition battle cruisers too. Coalition BCs, of course, have a lot more damage than Saban ones do. It says the Saban one is higher, but its fire rate is way lower. But these Saban ones definitely able to kite. But not as effectively as they could. Now, I've got to say, one thing Fear needs to learn to do is smoke these battlecruisers when they're close to dying, you know? Because that's going to increase the livelihood of your army so much. Yay! Look at that. Look at that. Cruise missiles out. It's on the carrier, and that will be a kill. And Fear takes game 1. I get map 2 loaded in here a little preemptively. By Jove, he's done it! But it's not as convincing as I like. It was a little bit hairy in some places, but he did manage to get it in there. Now, one thing he's got to note is that God Hates Weebs is going to continue this bomber play. Like, you know he will. You got to find a way to exploit that if you're going to win this series, I think, because there were some parts here where I was really kind of worried for Fear. And I think God Hates Weebs might be able to kind of figure it out and, you know, exploit those moments as well, so. But it's a good start for Fear. That was, in fact, God Hates Weebs map pick, you know. Fear, why are you not my friend? I've tried to add you. Map 2 is the Shallows. Looks like it's Fear's pick. Saban versus Coalition. It's a cool matchup. We don't see it too often. Coalition definitely having an edge in the late game because their carrier is actually worth something. It's not true in the mod anymore, but definitely true in vanilla. But the Saban rails are so powerful. And I like that God Hates Weebs tried to use them last game, but he kept him too close to those BCs. He really kind of chewed him up there. I think there's potential here, though. Either player really could take this series. What's our map? It's the Shallows. Very hard to attack early on this map, but we're generally thinking of ground forces in that regard. Once anti-air gets set up, the main is going to be really nice and protected. Fourth base is hard to keep, though, when you've got air on the field. Especially if you can also pressure with railguns, because the player defending has to hold this entire area, or else he can't defend that. Makes it difficult to hold this second and this fourth at the same time. But air is definitely going to be able to get into the main. The question is, though, does God Hate Weebs wants to get, does he want to get some poke in on that support cruiser first, and then after that come in with the bomber? By the way, going to be 6-up from him this time, which I think is good. He goes to AV fabrication first, okay. A little bit of a change there. Or I said 6-up, it's 8-up. But it's 8-up for Fear as well. Good move. Because obviously it's the Shallows. This is the kind of map where, you know, you can get away with that kind of stuff. I wonder if both players have seen me talking about that so many times that they've kind of gotten that ingrained in their heads. I hope so, because that'd be a good sign that they're kind of listening, trying to improve their play here. Wow, that was pretty lucky. This Salvager here was about to get really screwed up, but the support cruiser popped, so he was able to drop his resources on that. That's a small deal, though. That's a small deal. Base Runner's out here in the middle again. It's clearly true that in the Saban versus Coalition matchup here, you can't rely on your turret in the early game because one targeting jammer is going to be able to neutralize that. Probe getting a little chewed here. 40 HP gone on that one. Should still be able to get some good scouting information though, and what Fear is seeing here is no carrier. Means probably the carrier's chilling up on the top there. Gonna check the third as well, but I think he ought to just fly up here, make sure he knows what's going on. You will, of course, see that AAV module rising up. Right there. I don't really know what's going on here. Oh, no, you know what? This actually makes a lot of sense for Fear. You couldn't get the middle artifact. You kind of lost the micro battle for it. Just go ahead and get the top one. Make it so that your opponent can't do the double extract. That's good, although it may cost him this base runner, depending on how this AAV does. That guy having a little bit of a dirt moment, but that's okay. Now, this base runner here, once he's away from this base runner, might want to put down a turret because this AV could chase. Of course, he's twice as fast as him. Base runners with an artifact slower than battle cruisers, so that's definitely impactful. LAV takes out the probe, but he got the information he really needed, which was the AAVs out on the field there. And God Hates Weebs is going to be doing the same thing as Fear, although I gotta say, it's kind of looking a little questionable in some regards. Like, why doesn't God Hates Weebs have a support cruiser out? Shouldn't he be on 2 base here instead of 1? Because the only difference on the field is 2 AVs instead of 1. That's not a big difference. Let's check the resources here. No, that's not a justification either. So it looks like God Hates Weebs really kind of falling behind here by virtue of the opener, because he's kind of like mirroring his opponent, but without a support cruiser, which is kind of a big deal. He's not going to be able to double produce here, that's for sure. Attack bomber fabrication comes out from him. He doesn't think he needs it, clearly. Support cruiser just now coming out, but I don't know. This is a little bit shaky, to say the least. I think Fear definitely ahead here. This is a map that God Hates Weebs desperately going to want to win. Doesn't want to start out the series 2-0 and then have to claw back from behind. Again, Fear just going with the strike fighters himself. This is a pretty good way, I'd say, to neutralize the bomber play that you keep seeing. That blinking light there, of course, going to reveal that strike fighters are being produced. You can also see the targets up there to know that they are indeed teched too. These AAVs pressuring gonna make Fear feel he kind of needs to launch out there. Could actually go for a carrier block. I'd kind of like to see that instead. Because then your carrier is also going to be doing damage to these guys. Strike fighters take a long time to kill AAVs here. And suddenly, this actually looks a little bit more serious than I thought before, although more strike fighters gonna launch. Support cruiser gets poked anyway. This is what God Hates Weebs is always just trying to do, just poke that support cruiser just a little bit. Map's a lot smaller though, probably less likely for that bomber to manage to get around into the main. But we'll see, it can definitely happen still. Base runner gonna get denied here, so that's good from Fear. That's what he wanted when he took this this far artifact. BR goes down. God Hates Weebs, I'd say, definitely behind from this position. Bomber in production, missile battery fabrication on the way. Production upgrade is finished now for God Hates Weebs. A couple salvagers getting picked off here on the third. Bomber launches with the strike fighters in the air. What are you doing, you maniac? Whoa. They're out of missiles though. Okay, you gotta go. You gotta go now. Because they're clearly... No, they're not out of missiles. I don't know about God Hates Weebs' play right there. That was really risky. He could just fly in and try to kill it now, but... I don't know. I'm not liking that. Yeah, no, these guys have got missiles left, so he would have lost a bomber there for sure. That's risky times for God Hates Weebs. Are we having invisible air units here? I think we are. Here comes another bomber, remarkably gonna actually get in to drop his payload. But these strike fighters going to kill him after that. Good splitting by Fear there, actually. Saves some salvagers too. That ought to be a dead bomber, right? It is going to be a dead bomber. Second bomber coming in though, he doesn't seem to know about it. Want to dock these guys, definitely want to dock these guys. Pretend they're gunships. Bomber drops his payload on a salvager. Oh, what a choke. And Fear gets away with murder now. Strike fighters chasing on the return vector, but they really need to get out of here. There is anti-air in the field. And they will. Bomber going to be safe, but does not get his damage in. And Fear looking like he's cool as... I was about to say cool as beans. Beans aren't cool. Anyway, you gotta get this guy healed up, though. Especially if you're gonna have him be a frontline cruiser. So just get him there, get him healing. Battlecruiser fabrication coming out again. He's feeling very confident here. Doesn't even feel he needs anti-air. He does need anti-air. Okay, good. But he should get the support cruiser over here, healing this guy up, and then do the battlecruiser... Excuse me, do the battlecruiser party bus after this is done. Because that's a big liability if this guy's on 1/4 health like this. In fact, it looks like a lot less if you look at the bar, but mathematically speaking. That is, in fact, almost exactly 1/4, just off by 4. Oh, he'll heal him with the carrier. Now, does the carrier heal faster than a support cruiser when he's on power 3? I bet he does, actually. I stand corrected! Nicely done, Fear, nicely done. Strike Fighter's going to launch preemptively here. That is very good because the tactical bomber is circling. He's going to see him real soon here. Going to want to target that guy immediately. And I think maybe the support cruiser dies anyway here. He didn't. He's going after the main. Oh, what a choke. Does get some salvager kills there, but the bomber goes down. This support cruiser here going to be damaged too now, but only by about half. Gonna need to replace some salvagers there, but it's definitely worth it for the bomber. Check out the units lost tab. Ooh. That's good for God Hates Weebs, man. That is good for him. Or sorry, bad for... That's good for Fear. That's good for him. I know what I'm talking about. Gonna snipe out the missile battery while he's at it. Doesn't lose a strike fighter for it. Fear, you maniac. That was a really good play right there. You know, you really have to trust your... You really have to trust your air micro to go into a place where you know that there's anti-air and you're gonna kill one of the AA units and then swing back out. That's good. Sport Cruiser are healed up, feeling pretty healthy. He went to the dentist, no cavities, he says. He's ready to go. Carrier gonna move out. 2 artifacts gonna extract as well here. Power Reserve 2 finished for Fear, as you can see over here on the right. With the 2 artifacts, gonna bring him to 3-1. I think he can do this. I think he can do this. Thing is, this is quite a couple of railguns here. You don't want to throw against the rails, right? You definitely don't want to throw against the rails here, because you could. I mean, that would definitely be a way to end the game. I say get railgun fabrication once you got the RUs and start pumping those out right when those battle cruisers finish, and then move in together. You probably want to get a sport cruiser here as well, actually, but getting the heavy vehicle armors upgrade doesn't really help if you can't actually make the heavy vehicles, does it? Sport cruiser on the queue here, queuing up a lot of units. I don't know about that, but and the carrier stopped here too. Party bus strategy on hold. But the railguns are moving out. All right, yeah, you definitely want to get your carrier in there because look at this. This is a big opening right here. This is a big opening for sure. Assault cruiser fabrication finishes for Gaudius Weebs. Not sure what he's going for. Probably artillery. I feel like he's got to know this is going to be dangerous if he does anything else. Fear, you gotta move out. This is a huge opening right here. This is a big opening, obviously, because those railguns are not at home. That means there's no opposition to the battlecruiser or the carrier. But he doesn't move, and they're gonna drop out on this crevice here, which means they have a long way to go before they can get to the base. To be fair, he kills most of these railguns already, but I mean, he could be like here with battlecruisers right now. That'd be game over for sure. Artifact extraction on the way now for Fear. Same. Wait. That's also Fear, and it's not true anyway. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about now. Battlecruiser is going in a weird position. I mean, you want to charge in there, get those guys into the fray, as they say. Sport cruiser's finished. That's some good anti-air. Get those rails up, man. Yeah, he's taking heavy vehicle armor, but what's the point? I mean, he doesn't even have any railguns ready. Doesn't have fabrication done for them yet. It's a little questionable. It's a little questionable. I don't know what he's going for here. He did hold off the Balmer aggression though really nicely. I mean, it is his right to win this game, but he's got to do it right. Okay, that's fine. I always hold my breath when the missile battery fires. It's hard to tell where it's gonna land, you know. I guess actually what you should do is go straight up, and then you can see it moving in a straight line. But carrier really equivocating a lot now. Railgun fabrication, man, you got to get that tech here. LAV upgrades are good, but you gotta get that tech. Otherwise, you're just upgrading this guy. I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, the man operating this machine, but where's the cockpit? I never thought about this. Second turret post gets set up. I'd say that's pretty ambitious, but he's already killed a rail with it. Assault cruiser's out. Oh, get out of there. You got a boost. Ooh. You should be happy to see assault cruisers, mind you, but you gotta get railgun fabrication, man. Ooh. Power 4 railguns. You have the money for both. Do both. Do both. 4th artifact secured. It's good for Fear. It's very good. Parts are 4 on the way, but no railgun fabrication. He really needs it. And again, look, the army is here, right? You need to be here. Like, you need to be here. Because look what you're missing out on, dude. There's so much opportunity, man. It's like America. Anyway, I mean, you got to be there, you know. He maybe could throw his carrier if he comes out here. I don't know, but it's got no rails. Railgun fabrication just now starting. It's very late. There's a lot of sub on rails here. There's 7 of them. That can kill a carrier pretty quickly now. Got his feet backing up. Good. That's what he needs to do. He didn't do that last time. Missile batteries. Oh! Did Fear see that and like micro on purpose? Because that was like the perfect dodge. Support cruiser goes down. Railgun's hitting on these battle cruisers. They're gonna hit for real damage here. Smoke comes out. That's good. Missile battery's unable to make the hold there. They're both on recharge now. I think Fear just goes up here and gets another kill. I mean, these guys are super slow. They're not going to be able to catch up to you, so even when they're ready to go again, they're not going to be able to. The battle cruisers live. Okay, so this is actually starting to look really good now for Fear. There's anti-air here. I don't know about launching. This is a little bit ambitious. Well, he's going to get away with it, it looks like. But you got to dock. Oh, got to dock. You got to dock. Ow. He gets away with only one loss there. That's pretty good. Assault cruiser is here to complete the hold against these LAVs, but an entire base been wiped, salvagers and all. Whoa! Queuing up a couple of units, I didn't notice that. It's kind of okay though, he's got no other way to spend them. He's an RM player, you can forgive him, right? Rails are forthcoming. Oh, God, it's Weebs. He doesn't even have the mag accelerator upgrade. Well, that would have helped him a lot here. Like, I don't know why he's taking power. I guess he wants that microwave emitter, but if he had mag accelerator here, he could have killed probably 2 battle cruisers. I don't know. That's a big difference to the damage of output of your railguns. Microwave emitter is ready though, so he can launch that when he wants to. It is going to hit battle cruisers for a lot of damage because they can't get out of the way. It's going to be on the rails. That's actually also not a bad choice here. Smoke going to want to be popped by this railgun battle cruiser immediately. Fear doesn't seem to know about it. He's going to lose all of these railguns, I think. But this carrier is ranging these railguns, and they're going to be dead before too long, too. Battlecruiser's just trying to hit on that Savant carrier for now. Savant carrier powering out the weapons. Again, this is vanilla. You really don't want to do that. They're pretty much worthless. Like, a lot of things I say pretty hyperbolically. This I really don't mean hyperbolically. Like, the Savant carrier is worthless in vanilla. You know, there's no reason to put any more than 1 power in the turrets because 1 power, you get the missile. All the rest of it can go to ALMs or to armor. You really don't need anything else. Big losses on either side here, but only thing that's well, this is actually a lot of railguns, isn't it? Fear still doesn't have that carrier production upgrade, so. Are they in range there? I think they are. Nah, maybe not. The microwave emitter is going to land again. Wow. But the cruise missile is ready too. I'd probably save it though if I were Fear. But full power in the armor is going to be good for him here. He'll be okay. This guy needs to smoke! Smoke! I'm still in vision because of that microwave emitter, man. You gotta smoke. These guys have range on you. Almost, anyway. Looks like they're just barely out of range, but I mean, that's pretty close. He really could have lost this battlecruiser if he had been just a little bit closer. Thing is, though, Fear now, with a lot of security in that cruise missile. I think he just pushes forward with the carrier, get the battlecruiser to drop on top of your opponent, use the cruise missile to clear out the rails, and push on to victory. But at any rate, you gotta use it at some point. I would launch it against these railguns here. Railguns do not have mag accelerator yet. They're doing 65 damage per shot. That's like nothing. I mean, he can take shots from these railguns for a while now. But Fear, you gotta launch the cruise missile. These guys they're asking for it, dude. Right there. And then you would have such a clear line to that carrier. Look how little health he's on. In fact, you could probably almost trick shot the carrier. Yeah, you know, you can just kill the carrier at this point with that nuke. Okay, well, I guess the battlecruiser will do it too. God hates Weebs. starting the series out pretty weak here. It's at 0-2, and there's the cruise missile. In case we needed that. Fear leading the series nicely, then. That's not something that's meant to be looked at while the game is paused. It's kind of disgusting, actually. And it is disgusting, freaking cruise missile. But anyway, I don't know. It could have been a lot more convincing from Fear there, but again, it's gonna be enough. It's gonna be enough. Oh, I need to load in Game 3's replays here. 1 second here. Looks like it's Firebase Krill. Gonna be Fear's map pick. Oh, I'm very sure I want to quit. So here we are on the Firebase. I mean, the thing is, like, God Hate Swede's rails were all out of position there, right? Like, once you saw they were down on the left side fighting your base runners, this was a while before the game ended. You could just drive that carrier up as far as you wanted, because they're not there, right? And he hasn't scouted your strategy yet. So, Fear's carrier could have been, I mean, it could have been on the second base, like when the battlecruiser dropped, or maybe, I don't know, like 1,000 meters away from the second base. An entire kilometer. Well, that's not very long in DOK terms. That's this far. Twice the length of the carrier. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it could have been that close when the battlecruisers dropped, and then that's an entire eco wipe. The carrier just runs back to safety. You can do whatever you want at that point. It's gonna basically be game over. But God Hates Weebs, he should have won that series if he had Mag Accelerator earlier. Like, I criticize players sometimes for getting Mag Accelerator too early. But it's definitely worse to get it too late, because you saw those railguns just could not do the damage. Especially Soban ones. They have only 165 damage as a base. You need to get that mag accelerator, or else they just can't damage a coalition carrier. So, a pity. I mean, once he puts his armor to full, the coalition carrier, it's at 100 armor. Those Soban railguns without mag accelerator are doing 65 damage per shot. That's like nothing, you know. I think God Hates Weebs is having the base runner close here so that he can put down the targeting jammer once he needs it, I think. Not entirely sure, though. Makes more sense, I think, to sit on the artifact. Try and win the fight for the middle artifact. It's just a little micro battle, you know. Not even really micro, it's more just who's paying more attention type of battle, you know what I mean? Looks like that's what he will do. A couple of LAVs for Fury coming up here to terrorize that base runner. Looks like it's 5 LAVs into support cruiser first. Not really a build that I respect too much, but it might work out for him. We'll have to see. God Hates Weebs, meanwhile, getting AAVs first. And both players' play so far being pretty transparent, I gotta say. Nothing really too unexpected coming out so far. Targeting jammer deployed as the turret is coming out. Now God Hates Weebs, you gotta pick up the artifact, pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up! Pick her up! Pick her up! Targeting jammer goes down. He will pick up the artifact. Good, okay. The thing is, this base runner is dead, but you can at least pick up the artifact and slow down your opponent while you can, right? Here come the AVs. They need to give respect to this turret, though. Two AVs together should be able to do it, but not if they're especially not without armor 1, but not if there are LAVs in the area. God Hates Weebs, what's he going for now? A support cruiser looks like, but well, you know, this could be fine. Looks like Fear actually with a little bit of a missed rally. Support cruiser is going to be out of position, so it's going to lose some mining time off of that. AV's going to come in here to try to do some damage, and support cruiser should be finished for God Hates Weebs just about on time. Carry production upgrade comes out first before fighter and gunship. I'm actually pretty hopeful then he's going to try something a little new here and find some success. He needs to, you know. I think definitely in this stage in a series, you know, you got to know that you need to mix things up a little bit to survive. Fighter and gunship on the way now, but he should probably just start making some AVs to try and hold off these LAVs. But he's got the carrier production upgrade. He'll probably be fine here, doing some good damage to the main of Fear. Who also has AV fabrication on the way. But look at that. The good old bait and switch. He's going to get back up here to do more damage to that Sport Cruiser. I like the idea of smoking the carrier while you're doing that. Just don't take quite as much damage on this AAV, but gonna be okay. Gaudium Swedes is in position now, but you don't want to tunnel on the salvagers. Sport Cruiser has got to be the goal here, because you can get a lot of damage on this guy. Especially like, look how little damage you're doing if you factor in the healing from the Sport. No, no, no! Yeah, the turret is up now, but you can still smoke to get away from the turret. Big ol' wasted opportunity right there. I think Gaudium Swedes definitely should have been perhaps even killing a Sport Cruiser, but at the very least doing a lot of damage to it there. AV in position for Fear. It's not going to do anything though, but he can smoke the eco. Yep, that's what he wants to do. Turret going to chunk these guys, and I think that'll be the end of this attack. What a shame. Really definitely had the potential to do a lot more than that. Fear remobilizing the carrier there. Does not go for air this time. It's going to be railguns instead. Attack bombers are on the way for Gaudium Swedes, and he's got air units too. I think he should probably just start making them now at this point. That, I think, is a AV. It's a base runner, okay. Well, I mean, in the interim time, you could make a support cruiser. You could try to expand a little bit, but... LAV is actually going to come to the rescue. Don't usually see that. AV goes down though. The support cruiser will take this into the extraction zone. Missile battery fabrication on the way from Fear. I like it, but he did a really good job with those fighters and gunships last time. I almost think he ought to just, you know, kind of stick with that. Oops. And Gaudium Swedes getting missile battery fabrication too. You can tell he expects it to be air units this time. It worked for Fear before. I mean, you kind of expect he'll do it again. Artifact is going to be very delayed, but it should score here. You know, actually, I think Gaudium Swedes maybe can stop it if he just drives over there. Probably not. But Target and Jammer could be deployed here to try to kill off the turret. I think that would work. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, this is a good play here. No, 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 stick it, yes. Oh my gosh. Gaudium Swedes, what are you doing? If you just stuck it right there, that turret would be dead right now. I mean, that was such a good play, but he just kind of threw it there, unfortunately. Bomber's coming in though. Don't hit the AV. Don't. Yes. Bluey. Support cruiser lost. I mean, at least smoke the turret if you're not going to fight it. Looks like he will, though. But I think he loses a base runner here if Fear wants to stick around and kill it. No extraction for Gaudium Swedes. The railgun fabrication on the way for him now. Power Reserve 2 coming out from Fear. He has railguns already. Hasn't built any though. I guess he doesn't like railguns. I don't know. He's done kind of the same thing every game, and it's never been rails. I guess he just doesn't like the things, but they're very powerful. You got to agree. Still though, his eco kind of in shambles here. He was not able to stop those bombers like he has the other games. Oh, you bad man. Well, this is not going to work for him, actually. But I like the idea of putting down a turret there in the main, but... Yeah, okay, good. I don't know, does this work into the... Well, it certainly doesn't if the support cruiser gets targeted, that's for sure. Smoke gets popped, that really is just going to delay for time. The right smoke there is actually on top of the support cruiser. And then you can basically say, like, okay, well look, I'm going to shoot at you. You can't hit my support cruiser, you can't get any damage in. And this turret will die. Artifact, I think, was denied there by God Hates Weebs, that's nice. Using those bombers. And assault cruiser fabrication coming out for him, a little bit of an odd choice, but he really just needs rails here. And this carrier getting real froggy. I don't know what the idea is. Again, this Saban carrier, I need to reiterate, it is worthless, alright? So you really shouldn't have it running out here into the open, especially like Fear, I don't know what he's got into his rocker here, but he has railgun fabrication, alright? Like, he could be making railguns right now. And if he were, this carrier would probably die. You know, like, it's just a liability. These rails would go down because Fear would have more than God Hates Weebs does at the moment. There's only 2 here. In fact, they go down to the missile batteries. And then, you know, a couple of railguns, that's all it would take, and Fear would kill off his opponent's carrier, and that'd be the game, like, series over. But Fear just, for some reason, doesn't want to make these railguns at all, so I don't know exactly what his idea there is. Assault Cruiser fabrication finishing about 20 seconds now. A support cruiser is gonna pop, and God Hates Weebs is gonna kill it immediately. I don't know. This is not good for Fear to be chasing with this carrier here. Yeah, he needs railguns, he's gonna do this. He doesn't have them. Attack bomber gonna waste it on the carrier. Oh no. That doesn't do much at all. I mean, you saw the support cruiser, you know, you really should have just gone after that. Like, watch the health. Goes down, yeah, but not by a whole lot. There's a hidden, like, 50% multiplier against bombers, so it doesn't really do much. In fact, the bombers were better spent to protect the eco up here. Another turret looks like gonna get set down. The missile battery should be able to deny that. This is a good use of smoke. Put it on the support cruiser, you know, keep him safe. Put it on the support cruiser. Put it on the support cruiser! Yeah, he's just gonna let that guy die, unfortunately, so down he goes. The number of support cruisers lost in this series, by the way, I just want to point out, it's quite high. Bomber denies the base printer with his turret. If you notice that ALM was like almost stun locking him and it was like stopping him from setting it down. Well, it wasn't really a stun lock, but it was annoying at any rate. The support cruiser is ready. We'll fill up that third base again. I feel like that support cruiser shouldn't have died in the first place, but... Artillery on the way now for God Hates Weebs. That looks like it's going to be his choice here. Fear the fighter and gunship, but not making any railguns, man. I mean, that's the obvious choice here, but the bomber's going to come out now. One of them's already fired his payload, like, I don't know why he's still in the air. But that's a good hit on that support cruiser there. He fired his payload, didn't he? Like, I don't know what he's expecting to get by flying this guy around here. Yeah, that was just kind of silly. Gosh dang it, Stole, hit that support cruiser! Command, I told you I have no bombs! I don't care! You should. Another support cruiser on the way now from Fear. God Hates Weebs seems to be, floundering just a little bit here. I mean, he really probably ought to have this game already, but... Artillery's gonna be good for him, though. Power reserves, though, not really good for him. Just, you've got railgun fabrication too, man. Just make... railguns. Just make railguns. That's all. Make railguns, okay? And then, I mean, really, for both players, I could be saying this. Artillery finishes. Okay, make artillery then. But powering up the carrier, worthless. I need to reiterate, in case anyone out there, any Saban fanboys out there, didn't get the message yet. Carrier, worthless. Don't power this thing up. There's no point. In the mod, it's a little different, okay? But there's no reason. You're just gonna drive me crazy. Rails are up. Now, there's actually no anti-air coverage here, to be fair. So this is good for Fear. Carrier just kind of chilling here, doing, you know, 0 damage. Did I mention, by the way? Worthless! So, I mean, you know. Gauntlet Weebs actually has missile battery fabrication. I just make a couple, you know. Assault Cruiser anti-air, maybe a good choice. It's pretty expensive, takes a long time, it's actually not as good as it looks, so maybe not, but... I mean, point is, he's got options, you know, he doesn't need to be doing this. Attack Bomber's dead. Dead is, dead things. I imagine that's artillery we're seeing from Gauntlet Weebs, but it's in a precarious position. Gonna be more precarious considering this air out. I mean, he really needs anti-air, you know. He's not making it. Okay, assault cruiser anti-air is coming out. Well, in that case, cue some more assault cruisers. That's what you're gonna need here. LAV's looking to do some counterplay. There are AAVs ready to cover though, and none of the support cruisers are low, but this one I don't think so. "30 seconds still on assault cruiser anti-air. Gauntlet Weebs making another support cruiser I can see. Artillery's out now, okay? Oh, 2 missile batteries. Excellent. Excellent. Support cruisers out too to get some healing in. I like that a lot. And artillery is on the field, moving way too far away. I don't know where he's rallied to. But this guy here is going to make a difference. I hope. Again, Fear, with no railguns. He's just now beginning to produce them. I don't know what the idea there is. This carrier is also at half health, which is really pretty precarious. Fight's starting to take place here. Now is Maggot. Oh my god. I mean, these are very ineffective railguns, to be fair, but artillery is going to do most of the damage, I would assume. Barrage set now on the eco there. That's going to wipe that clean. Hazard 4 finishes for sorry, I thought it was for Gauntlet Weebs, for Fear. Oh. Useless! There is no use! It's useless! If there's one thing I would get into his mind, it's this is okay in Draki, but in vanilla. So don't do this in the future. Battlecruiser fabrication on the way for Fear now. He's done this every game so far. He seems to really like this unit. I think he's been playing a little too much RM, but okay, this is one thing that the carrier can do. Not gonna take any losses while he clears out a turret. Alright. Fair, fair. But yeah, assault cruiser anti-air is done. I mean, you should probably just make more artillery, more assault cruisers, railguns too, sure, why not? And you should just push on to victory. This is definitely game over here. Backing up and he's gonna start mining. Ha! Cheeky little man. Because of how many support cruiser losses there are, there's still actually quite a few CUs left there. This one is mined out. That I think should be indicative of how well this is going for God Hates Weebs, by the way. Is that these guys have mined out. There's still like 3,000, 2,000 CUs. That's also 3,000, yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of mining time lost for, for what's his face? For Fear. Units lost tab is a little bit deceptive here. They look pretty much even, but definitely it's God Hates Weebs who's up on the top. But he's gotta pressure it. I mean, he could definitely throw this by just kind of sitting around. Did I mention that the Saban carrier is useless? I think I did. Like, the scouting you get by putting power into the range here, you could get by, yeah, I mean, you could get that by, making LAVs instead. It'd be much better for you. Is that guy Stole? Is that Stole? It's Ford. Never mind. You noticed it's always, Sajets that pilot the strike fighters? Ford getting killed actually by the microwave emitter. It's the only nuke that targets air units. And this here looks like it ought to be the GG, perhaps. Although it's worth noting that artillery is going to do very little damage to a carrier with 100 armor like that. But Mag Exciter actually being finished means that this carrier will die pretty quickly now. I'm gonna just load in map 4 here because it's become obvious now. And down goes Fear's carrier. I've gotta say, for Fear, stick to your guns, I guess, you know? The Strike Fighter opening was clearly working for you very nicely. I'd say against God Hates Weebs, it's a really good play. Just Spore Cruiser first into AV Fab, Production Upgrade and Strike Fighters at the same time, start pumping them out. Because it's gonna be a while before bombers hit the field, you know what I mean? Gonna be a while. Boneyard is our next map. Other thing, though, is make railguns, man. Like, that unit is so good. You actually would have won that game with rails. I'm pretty sure. Because when God Hates Weebs pushed in with the Saban carrier, which is useless, you know, railguns would have been fighting each other there for a little bit, but I mean, you would have killed his off pretty quickly. You only had like 2 or 3. Your carrier can actually do damage, so you drive it forward, you just keep it on top of your opponent, and it's going to kill anything that comes out. And your railguns are hammering in for damage. You're going to win that game. Like, that's game over. So, really kind of a silly game. I feel like Fear definitely ought to have had that, just by virtue of that. God Hates Weebs should have had it a little easier just by not getting carrier power, but instead just going for a mass death ball of Saban railguns. I'm hoping to see some better play in this game here. Comparable build from God Hates Weebs. Whoa, I yawned. Sorry. Fear going at least 7 up here. You're gonna want to change this rally point pretty soon. God Hates Weebs is going 6 up, I think. Yep. Free Meanwhile is going to do 8 up, which is good. That's also a very respectable build. Against God Hates Weebs, I gotta say, you pretty much know you're not going to get pressured in the early game, so... a just move, I would say. Whoa. Interesting view of the Saban carrier. I wonder whose window this is here. Looks very homeworld, doesn't it? Did you know, by the way, in DOK, the railgun's obviously the very long-range unit, and it kills kills like armored units, but it's not very good against strikecraft because it can't hit them. But in real life, one of the proposed applications for railguns is actually shooting down incoming missiles, because they're so fast you don't really need to track a target, you know, you just point at it and you'll kill it. So because they're extremely fast, extremely accurate, they can shoot down missiles, they can, you know, do all kinds of stuff. I just thought that was interesting. AV fabrication comes out from both players here. Goddess Weebs quite a lot ahead in that regard. Not sure exactly why that ended up happening. Maybe just a couple too many LAVs from Fear here, but he did go 8 up. I mean, I would imagine he would have AV fabrication a little faster, but... It looks like God Hates Weebs here going to begin producing AAVs. Extraction will go down for Fear. God Hates Weebs not going to be so lucky just yet, but the AAVs will protect that base burner, I imagine. Bring the scoreline to 1-0. Fighter and gunship fabrication starting now for Fear. And it's already started for God Hates Weebs. It's going to be about 50 seconds out for him. Carrier production upgrade then, probably going to be good for both players. Assault pack comes out for Fear though, so going to want to focus a little bit more on these LAVs this time apparently. Extraction complete! Brings that scoreline to 1-0. Production upgrade on the way for both players, in fact, but it's Fears who's a little bit more punctual, I suppose I would say. But it probably shouldn't matter too much here. Fighter and gunship fabrication essentially going to be finishing at the same time, you can think of it that way. But no strike fighters queued up yet. From either side, it looks like. There we go, Fear starting to queue up some strike fighters there. Attack bomber fabrication instead from God Hates Weebs. Looks like it's pretty simply what we saw before. God Hates Weebs is going to lose an artifact here, I think. Targeting jammer, ooh. That's a bad use of it because it costs you money and you didn't get anything out of that. It's gonna be 4 strike fighters from Fear. I'd make 5. 5's kind of like the magic number, I feel. If you can kill off a support cruiser like that, it'd be pretty easy. Remember, that happened in game 1 and you won that game. You know, I think that's a good way to go. You'll have those strike fighters first because you could have the 5th one done in like 10 seconds probably now. And your opponent just now still making attack bomber fabrication. So you could have those guys done first, kill off a main base, right? Support cruiser goes down. And then, you know, things are looking Gucci for you. Because you're going to dock, be recharged by the time that bomber flies out, and you can kill the bomber. So I think that's just like almost unbeatable from God Hates Weebs' standpoint. Bomber's on the way though. Production upgrade is finished too. I almost think God Hates Weebs would have the money for another one. I think he does, doesn't he? How expensive are bombers? I guess I don't actually know. Lieutenant Dan! He's never gonna be a lieutenant, he's dead. He dead. He don't got no legs. Brannon, that's not nearly so cool. Bomber going to launch now. It's clearly against this support cruiser right here. Second bomber's finished, probably gonna want to launch that one immediately too. Ahem. Hit Q, please. I'm pressing Q for him, but it's not working. Strike fighters are out already, though. AV gonna poke at the main again. Now, Fear, if he's been kind of paying attention to how God Hates Weebs plays, he's gonna know exactly what that means, but he doesn't want to dock the strike fighters. Oh, no. Fear! No! Sees the bomber, gotta attack that immediately. But yeah, he's docked. I mean, he's not gonna... You will not stop me. One bomb in, that's a support cruiser dead. Second bomb in. Shame on me, I guess. I don't know what that bomb even did, but... Depressant. Would you believe it? This bomber is gonna get out, too. Safe. This guy, probably not so lucky, but... The strike fighters run out of missiles, I guess. He docks! Oh no, Fear, what happened? That should have been easy. Eco is ravaged. The salvager's gone. Sport cruiser gone. Oh no. Oh no! If it was a best of 3, he'd have won already. And God Hates Weebs under immense pressure, by the way. If he loses even one game, he's out, but he's still going strong. 2 extractions are out for Fear now. That's good. Sport cruiser to replace is almost finished now. God Hates Weebs needs some anti-air, but he's got it. Missile battery's finished. He's closing in on this base runner here. That should not extract. I think the scoreline is 2-0, but we'll see. Sport cruiser finished for God Hates Weebs. Gonna want to move on to that third base there now. Sport cruiser anti-air not on the way, but I don't think he really feels he needs it there. Definitely smoke is good here. Smoke is good here. Smoke is good here. Ah! Gonna lose a support cruiser. Didn't need to lose that. Missile battery could come in while the smoke is waiting. Pop that on these LAVs and they're dead, man. But disgusting. Didn't need to happen that way. Herberts came out. Looks like it was pretty good, but I don't know. Bombers can be used now to deal with this situation. And now that is something that they do well. I don't think the other one even dropped his payload, though, which is a little unfortunate. But this eco is also wiped. I mean, I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this. Ooh, good airburst. ALM gets a kill there, that's nice to see. Well. It's a messy series, that's for sure. And we're not talking about Lionel. There's still a weakness to the bombers there on the main. But it's risky, because once they get spotted, they're dead, right? I don't know. God Hates Weebs has railgun fabrication ready. Anti-air and push out, I guess. That's probably what I would say. Fear, amazingly, actually slower to get up to third base than his opponent there, despite having quite a lead on it. Sport Cruiser just now finishing for him. But Sport Cruiser anti-air is out. Gonna be good for him. Fighters just launch and dock again, though, and that's really bad to see. This is actually a moment, right, where the bombers could come out and get a... Well, I mean, actually, these strike fighters are already ready to launch again, but... Jeez. I have a feeling these bombers are gonna find another victim. And he's waiting right there for them if they see it. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Don't waste on the salvagers, no! What for? Was it worth it? Fear not launching either. Definitely wants to launch the strike fighters here, get this kill. Ford, how do you do this? That should not have happened. What on earth? First off, this support cruiser should be dead. Second, both of the bombers should be dead too. Oh no. What have we come to here? Battlecruiser fabrication coming out for God 8 Weebs. I mean, that's really a big hit. It basically takes Fear down to just, you know, one base for a second. And Fear behind on the units lost tab here. I don't think that's been true in any of the other games, except maybe for game 3, but that was kind of a fluke. Oh no. Oh no! I just don't even know anymore. Battlecruiser fabrication coming out from both sides again now. Power reserves from God Hates Weebs, okay. But, you know, whatever. I don't know, we could see Sport Cruiser pop out here from God Hates Weebs, and then he moves out across the map now. That could be good. Heavy Vehicles Armor 3 coming out from God Hates Weebs now. No mag. Oh man. So definitely like the big points that I would make to this series here. Mag Accelerator, number 1. Well, no, number 2. First, number 1. Useless. Don't get that power for the spawn carrier and expect it to do damage for you. It's not going to. Extraction goes down, by the way. It's 3-0 right now. God Hates Weebs working to rectify the situation though. But then Mag Accelerator, gotta have that. Build Railgun Sphere, please. And lastly, yeah, just don't let these guys launch and then dock for nothing, you know what I mean? Ooh, this is kind of mind-gamey from God Hates Weebs, but he does get spotted. Strike Fighters ought to fly up there and get these kills here, but they won't. This is the thing, once these Strike Fighters are out of missiles, come in there, take out another base, right? Don't dock, don't dock! Okay. I thought he was gonna dock. Yeah, no, attack bombers, come on in. Or maybe here, this is good too. That's a clean kill, right? You take out a base here. They're gonna do it. And I think they're targeting the support cruiser properly. No! 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 Oh. Let me tell you. If you have the choice between all of the salvagers and the support cruiser, you take this every day. This way better for you. Easily so. Sport Cruiser Anti-Air coming out now for God Hates Weebs. Probably fearing the counterattack. It's probably a wise move. Gonna take a while to come out though. Battle Cruisers are on the way now for Fear. Mag Accelerator is finished. Good, good. Thing is, if there were missile batteries accompanying that army, that wouldn't have been possible. And once the Support Cruiser Anti-Air is finished, it's only Strike Fighters that are out for Fear right now. And you don't expect him to go for bombers. He hasn't done that this game yet. So I think you're free to take all of the missile batteries and send them with you. So I think that would be really good. This carrier here, though, really risky times here. Because this is just completely unaccompanied. I would not do that. Fear with the double BC production here, though. Yeah, this is the thing. For Fear, the double BC build is actually really good. The party bus, you drop them on your opponent, but right when they come out, you start making railguns. Like, that's what you do, because you need to get that damage output for the long range especially, but just in general. You know, you can't do it this way. There's gonna be more dead railguns if he wants it. He's just gonna go for the base burner instead. That's actually also not a bad choice, because obviously he is ahead in that way. He doesn't want to start falling behind that way. Base runner will go down. He's got one barrage left to use on railguns if he wants to. He saw them. He knows they're there. Saban battlecruiser is out. Railguns are out. Here's the thing. Shouldn't Mag Accelerator affect the battlecruiser too? Anyway. That'd be very technical to try to mod. If you're going to send his carrier to the main so that he can hold it off there, I suppose. Sending these battlecruisers out too, but no railguns. I have a feeling this is going to end badly. Power Reserve 3 finished though with 3 artifacts. He does have like 10 power here. He can actually power up so that he has an armor 100. Interesting choice there. Railgun fabrication comes out for him. Is he actually going to build them? I guess we'll see, but he does have it coming out. He's got all the heavy vehicles armor upgrades, right? So there is anti-air here. This is an interesting fight here. But, oh, the bomber. Air units tend to be really good against battlecruisers. That's one thing I've noticed, because they can dump their damage very effectively. And one battlecruiser from Fear goes down already. Second one is about to, I suppose. Again, smoke could be popped. It is popped, okay. Here comes the bomber, though. And down he goes. Kharak, he's dead. That means 2 battlecruisers uncontested firing at this carrier. That is going to be a lot of damage, and Fear is launching his strike fighters too. Holy moly. Anyway, Fear launching his strike fighters too, but there is anti-air here. That's going to be a lot of damage on this carrier. Down to 70 or 63% already. More power reserves for God Hates Weebs. That's okay, I guess. I mean, to be fair, the microwave emitter has been pretty effective this game, but it's not worth its weight in railguns, because there's so many power reserves that have to be gotten before you can get to that stage. Those are going to be a lot better for you. Yeah, look how effective the missile battery is. There's 28 armor in this guy right now, yeah? So take the damage that's coming in, and then subtract 28 times 20, and there's no damage anymore. So missile battery's not really going to do anything against battlecruisers, that's for sure. This carrier getting awful low now, about 40%. There's 3 Saban battlecruisers targeting. Well, they're not all targeting it. They should be. Oh, actually, there's another battlecruiser out, I guess. That is a good reason not to be shooting at the carrier, I guess. I think the carrier will go down here. I don't know, I mean, smoke could actually be used to delay this, right? But yeah, no, this carrier is going to go down. And we're going to have an ace match, which is pretty exciting. I don't know, though. This is another kind of weird game. I mean, I really think that, like, Fear could have been killing those bombers a lot better. You got to launch, like, right when you see them, yeah? Just hit W, send them out. You got to be, like, kind of watching the map when you know your opponent has got bombers. Kalash Teeth can be the decider. Being picked by whom, by the way? By God Hates Weebs. Alright. This is going to be an interesting one. The smallest map, easily the best map for backstabs, other than maybe Torn Crater. No, I think Kalash Teeth's even better. This is a tough map. Who is going to do better on it? Well, I guess I'd have to say God Hates Weebs. I mean, I don't think Fear has really been very proactive in attacking his opponent's bases at all, really. If he wants to do this kind of battlecruiser style, yeah, you could drop one, like send one through here, send one through here, send one, like, down onto the third, but I don't know, he just hasn't really been doing that kind of stuff with the battlecruisers so far. I mean, I came into the series really thinking Fear would probably win, but I'm not sure anymore. We'll just have to wait and see. What's the build gonna be? Might just be 7-Up. And not the soda. Looks like that's the idea from Fear. Sport Cruiser on the way now. God Hates Weebs, meanwhile, going LEV Fab first. What's the follow-up? It could just be fighter and gunship immediately. That's kind of what I'm expecting, actually. It's AV Fab first, okay. He did put one on the RUs in the beginning, so it might just be like an AV rush. This is not actually a bad timing for it, like the 1 minute and 20-second mark. You can definitely do faster, but that's not terrible. And like I said, I mean, this is a map with really big backstab potential, so that could work. Support cruiser comes out now for Fear. You want to move your carrier out before it pops, and that way, you know, it's moving, and then the support cruiser pops out, and he's already in position. But that's okay. This is going to be a small delay for the second base. It's getting bigger now. He's actually sending the support cruiser out there, but that's okay though. It's not going to make too much of a difference. AV fabrication finishes, and he queues up a whole bunch. Then cancel like 3 of these guys, get AV fabrication started, and then continue to queue them now. That's definitely better. But still, I think this build is probably solid. Probably solid. AV fabrication begins now for God Hates Weebs. This is vanilla, mind you. These things are like nearly unkillable in the early game, so we could see some good stuff going on here. Looks like Fear going to be the one to grab the art. No, God Hates Weebs grabs the artifact. Oh no. Yeah, he's got it. So Fear going to win the little micro fight in the beginning there. God Hates Weebs going to satisfy himself with the close artifact there, but he will get a little chewed up by these LAVs probably. AV's coming though. Really common mistake to see from rookies that they'll take the AVs and get distracted by LAVs and whatever. I wouldn't do that, you know, just run them straight out. Maybe it's worth it to get one extraction here, but second AV for sure has to be going after your opponent's eco. Yeah, see that's definitely what's going to happen. These guys taking a defensive stance, you're basically saying, it's okay that my economy is worse than my opponent, I'll just defend here. But it's not okay. He's going to get way far ahead of you here, being on 2 base a lot faster. Things going to start looking a little bit dire for sure. God, I think saving up for a support cruiser at this point. Remains to be seen. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess not. Well, he's probably saving money for bomber fabrication, which is pretty expensive if I remember correctly. $552. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Fighter and gunship finishes for Fear now, who is actually floating quite a lot at this point. But he begins production of these guys. Probe snipe there, it's pretty nice to see, but these AAVs in a good position are going to be really hard to stop the damage on that support cruiser. I think it needs to run, AV needs to smoke for it as it's on its way, and then the carrier needs to get involved here. Strike Fighter's going to get in there, do some damage. Again though, support cruiser's on the way, right? Yeah, I think it should be. Okay. Because if there wasn't a support cruiser on the way, then what that would mean is that even if this thing died, now the players would finally be even. You know, that's really bad for God Hates Weebs. And he's not getting his eco up nearly as fast as he should here. Support cruiser finally finished. Already going to take a bit of heat though. This ALM probably going to go down, I would say, to these LAVs, or at least it should. And they know they're being spotted. They should just go in there and see if they can get the kills on that thing. Bomber fabrication's on the way now for God Hates Weebs, and this support cruiser very low. I mean, one bomb definitely going to take that out. So what does Fear need to do? Well, it's clear what he needs to do. The missile batteries are not covering it. You know that. I mean, that should be obvious from this point. He needs to just have the strike fighters out there circling, look for that bomber. Once he launches, you take him out. Base runner, actually leave him here maybe. I mean, this is a good position, right? To get the scouting, because they can't go around you. LAVs are in a good position here. More LAVs are coming out. Get the strike fighters circling around here. They have a really big vision radius. Once the bomber comes, just shoop, take him out. You know what I mean? And that's got to be the play here. I don't think he's going to do it, though. Anti-air turbo's going to get taken out. That's kind of a really ambitious placement there. Like, that was clearly not going to work. Bombers being produced 2 at a time here. Oh, boy. I Thing is, if even one of these bombers gets through, then that's curtains for the support cruiser. But look at the LAV swarm. I mean, that should be curtains for this support cruiser here too, right? Assault pack is finished, so they can boost in now. Here comes the bomber, but he doesn't have any vision on it. Does not know about that bomber. Once you see it, like right now, immediately launch, 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 launch. Down he goes, not launching. Fear's gotta be launching here. He starts to launch, but it's too late, and that bomber is gonna get out of there. That's not good to see. Because these bombers are really vulnerable when they do that. Strike Fighter's gonna come out, they'll get this bomber perhaps. Okay, it's only 3. No. Yeah, okay, there we go. This bomber is gonna get out though, he's fine. So at that point, yeah, okay, have the Strike Fighters target the support cruiser. And get your other Strike Fighters involved in that too, I think. It's unfortunate though. Fear can be killing these bombers, but he's just not doing it, and you've got to do it, you know. Uh-oh, you want to be targeting the support cruiser? There we go. That will go down. Ooh, cutting it close there, but he does get the kill. Alright, so they should be relatively even then. Let's talk about units lost, huh? It's about even. The thing is, Godite's Weebs has still got this ability to attack here, and getting light anti-air is not going to cut it for Fear to stop this. He needs to launch right now, yeah. Even with just one, that's okay. You know, he's got to launch right now. See if he can kill that thing off. It's actually going to waste his bomb on a base runner, that's good for him. But launch immediately. Because if these guys are out and they're going for support cruisers, you want to stop them as fast as you can. Gonna be alright though. No support cruisers lost on this run by. And Fear, it looks like, has got his eco reset up a little bit faster. Did he lose salvagers? If he did, he's rebuilt them. So he's looking good here. Setting up his third base now, which is good as well. Godite's Weeb's going to start setting up as well. Railgun fabrication coming out for him. Fear getting missile battery fabrication, or well, I mean he's building them now. I mean I think that's fine actually, but again the thing that's going to stop the bombers has to be those strike fighters. You can't rely on the missile batteries to do that for you. So there's even an anti-air turret post here, but like get those strike fighters launching the second you see that bomber. You got to be really fast on that. That'd be something that's worth practicing, you know, if you ever wanted to practice. Like tell someone to fly a probe out and like notice the probe and fire immediately when you can. That'd be a good way to practice this. But yeah, you gotta launch right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. No launch coming out, but the bomber's gonna waste his bomb there. Still, you gotta launch though. That could definitely have been a dead bomber for sure. I mean, that's how you punish this, you know. It's a little bad to see. Oh yeah, there was a bomber launching. I was wondering about that. Strike fighters launching? They are launching! Okay, so this bomber here is dead. That's good. That's definitely what Fear needed. Don't fly over the anti-air though now. Ooh. These guys here are gonna want to dock probably. Ooh. Ooh. This guy's dead for sure, right? Yeah, he's gonna go down. But he's only lost one so far, that's not bad. Support cruise is on the way for Fear now. So he's gonna get up onto his third base. Railgun fabrication, okay, good, good. I hope he's gonna make them if he does, and that's gonna be a really good choice for him. Third artifact extraction, and one thing, I've kind of ripped on a little bit here, but I gotta say, one thing he's doing really good is getting those artifacts out. It's really important to be doing, and he's on top of it. You know, he's always on like 3 artifacts or whatever, so that's good. I am liking that. Power Reserve 2 on the way for Fear now as well. So, I mean, you know, the carrier power play could be really good here. Move, like, he needs another support cruiser to pull it off, I guess, but you move out with a bunch of railguns with your carrier powered up. I think you're looking good there. Support cruiser anti-air coming out for God 8's Weebs. No mag accelerator yet on those railguns. We don't see it for Fear yet either. But of course he is taking an armor upgrade right now. Here's the bomber. He saw the anti-air turret posts and he backed away, it looks like. There is actually a lot of anti-air, let's be fair. But maybe he's found his weakness. You heard that hostile bomber on approach. I mean, that says in the microphone, yeah. That's probably came out really loud on the speakers, but go ahead, launch your strike fighter. Yes, they're launching. No defense for that anti-air turret post. Feels a little bad. LAVs maybe could do something about that. This bomber gonna be spotted. Strike fighters go after it. Yes, and that's gonna be a dead bomber for sure. Okay, so he's cleared out the bombers now. Railguns are being produced in big numbers. Yes, it's good. It's good. Now you definitely need mag accelerator. You've got the money for it, and you can get away with the production upgrade too, because you're obviously on 3 base. You have the money to produce. It's a little bit awkward here, but that's okay. Assault cruiser fabrication coming out for God 8's Weebs. That's good for you, because if you can get there fast, artillery is not going to be out. Yeah, so get that mag accelerator. Mag accelerator is coming out. Good, good. It's not coming out from your opponent. That's good for you to see. And once that support cruiser's finished, start moving out with that carrier, and you're good to go, pretty much. Bombers are all cleared out. You still have the strike fighters, so if you can find a use for them, go ahead. This is looking good. You're going to want to get those heavy vehicle armor upgrades as well as you go, but here comes the support cruiser out on the field. Going to want to get on that base, of course. He has figured it out with the other one. ALM with his stun is dangerous there, because obviously this missile battery could do some nasty things, but doesn't look like that's going to happen this time. Don't do this. You're gonna want to get in there. In fact, this guy is actually gonna gain health if you fight him like this, because eventually he'll get veterancy. That's a fight that you can't take. But the carrier's moving out. Good. Okay, heavy vehicles armor coming out. Good. I'm liking what I am seeing here. Oh, okay, there was nothing there to capitalize, but that was actually a really good move by God 8's Weebs. Mortar could be used on this if he wants to clear it out. But the carrier has occupied the extraction zone, really good to see. Imagine how crazy this map would be if this was player 1's extraction and this was player 2's. I don't think I would like it, but it would definitely be a bit more dynamic. Anyway, look at the railgun count here. 5 to 13. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, this has got to be game here, right? If Fear just pushes out, and this is for the series, and all he needs to do is just click there, and it's over. God 8's Weebs trusting in that carrier again. Hey, did you know the Savant carrier is useless? Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Fear has not powered up the carrier at all here. Here comes that power. But you want to get fighting the rails. Now, number one thing in a railgun war is get fighting your opponent's rails as fast as you can. It's disobeying the laws of the railgun war. You want to just get in there and attack those rails as fast as you can. Missile batteries are out, so these guys are going to get dunked on. Hey, look at that dock micro. It's pretty good. He plays RM. He knows how to dock micro. Going for the wrong extraction zone is a little bit awkward, but you know. Railgun fight being taken properly here. There's only 2 rails left from his opponent. Yeah, just push on to victory and you have got it. Railgun spam continues. He's stopping here though. You gotta push on, push on. Onward ever onward, man. Just keep going. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Just keep moving forward. Power Reserve 3 would be nice here, too. It'd be nice. Yeah, you know. Gonna realize now he hasn't extracted an artifact here. It's pretty funny. Assault cruisers start to pop, but that's gonna do a whole lot of nothing, I would assume. Goes down immediately. Assault cruisers are really good on this map, but not like that. Power Reserve 3 is on the way, and this carrier can just muscle his way in. There's no... Uh-oh. Dock Micro is still pretty good, but not good enough. We lose a lot of strike fighters here. Anyway, carrier's got no resistance because the Saban carrier is not going to stop him. Mag Accelerator! Oh! Ah! And so you spent the time getting Power Reserve 3 and not Mag Accelerator. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, Fear could still throw this, but I'm feeling pretty good about him winning now, right? Down goes the support cruiser. I like actually how Fear has split up his units here too. He's got one side coming in over there, one side coming over here. It guarantees him that support cruiser kill. And he can just muscle his way on into the army over on this side. No resistance to speak of. Carrier's only lost about 2,000 HP. This railgun force gets taken out, but one artifact extracts. This would be the game-winning artifact. This is the game-winning push. I think Fear has got it in the bag. Oh no, please stop. Yeah, no, he's okay, he's okay. He sees it. He's got it, right? No, I think he's got it. I think he's got it. Strike fighters bravely launch here, though it may be for their death, but they do guarantee the extraction of that artifact. Is this an assault? It is, wow. But it's not there in time. And Fear wins it. 3-2. Exciting series there, but kind of difficult to watch, I suppose, for me, but no, it was still pretty enjoyable. I don't know, I think God Hates Weebs with his unique playstyle is fun to watch, but there's definitely holes in it, and I think Fear could definitely do a better job exploiting it there, but he took the series, that's all it takes, I suppose. And he does win his first lower bracket of his first tournament, so that's not bad. Certainly not going to get the triple champion he was looking for, where he would win Homeworld Classic, Valcora, and Kharak Cup 12, but he did fine. He did fine. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Gonna be a long one, but it's a good one. I'll catch you for some upper bracket action soon then, huh? Till then.